Welcome.
To the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 110 of The Joy of Coding. It's one of those rare episodes where it's also a binary number. 110, what is that? 1, 2, power. Oh man, 1, 4, I think it's 5. I think it's 5. I should check. 110 is, I think, 5. Is that right? 110 binary to decimal. This is a really, yeah, let me share my screen with you. I wasn't planning on starting it this way, but now I have to know. Oh, I spelled decimal wrong. Oh, jeez. No, I spelled it right. Decimal. I want to convert binary to decimal. And what is 110? I think it's 5. It's 6. Ah, I was off by 1. 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 5, 6. That's, yeah, okay. Sorry. 2 to the power of 1. Yeah. 6. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 110, or episode binary 6 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. Sorry for that little bit of math there to start. I hope you're here ready to hack on some Firefox stuff, because I sure am. We're already looking at my desktop here. This is the agenda. Boop, right here. So August 23rd. Reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I'm really making this up as I go. Who knows what's going to happen this episode? Could go all horribly wrong. That's okay. Let me actually just make sure that the feeds are working. I think the feeds on, yeah, Facebook, YouTube were good, Twitch were good. Yeah, Airmo we're good. Hey, fantastic. So no plan survives breakfast. If the stream goes down, stream goes down. If I get distracted, that happens too. Then we'll just do what we can. Also, I'm away next week. I'm on vacation, so I will not be having an episode next week. You'll have to wait one more week, and then I'll be back for episode 111, which will be episode 7, binary 7. Let's see. Yeah, is everything working? Yes, I think I just checked streams. You can hear me. I got sounds. Wicked. This agenda that we're kind of looking at right now, I want to point out that it's actually available to you if you're interested in clicking on links and following along, especially when we start getting into the bugs and stuff. You might want to follow along. There's some links that you might find handy. So if you're watching this in Air Mozilla, scroll down to the additional links section, because there's a link here to this and to the rate this episode form, because I do read all of the ratings. So that's on Airmo. On YouTube, it'll be in the video description. In Facebook, it's in a pinned comment right under this video, and if you're on Twitch, I'm about to drop it into the Twitch chat right now. Wham! There's the agenda, and then rate this episode form. Rate this episode. There you go. Okay, so all the links are out. So you can follow along in the agenda on this fine August 23rd, 2017. I want to point out, again, there is an episode guide to The Joy of Coding. It's 100% run by you, the viewers. I've barely done anything. I open the repo. I accept pull requests. That's it. I haven't really been adding anything. Maybe one of these days I'll write a script that just like dumps all of my agendas in here. But so far I haven't done that. And yeah, if you have notes from the episodes, maybe you want to make it easier for people to follow along. You've got your own notes, you've got your own links, or maybe your own discoveries. Send me a pull request, like maybe you had a favorite episode, you want to talk about it. I know a lot of people liked episode 100 because I wrote a web extension. Maybe you want to write about that. And then you can send a pull request to the episode guide. Like, it doesn't have to be much. Just get it started, and you snowball, and people, eventually it grows, like open source. So there you go. Feel free to send pull requests. Will happily accept pull requests. I'm very liberal in my merging of pull requests. So what am I working on today? Well, I've been working on, I think we looked at this last week actually, making it possible to warm up tabs that we think we're about to switch to, so that if I hover this tab, then in the background while the mouse is over the tab, we like get ready to present it so that when we click it, it's ready to go right away, as opposed to click, tell it to go present, and then it presents. Like there's a little bit of delay, and that actually has more of an impact, I would imagine, on more complicated, slower sites to render. Like CNN is a classic example. There's a lot going on in this site, and so like if I click here, well, that's actually not rendering too badly, but like this is like a very complicated site. It's got lots of, I've looked at the source code. It's pretty rough, but we apparently are able to paint it pretty quickly. There might be other examples where there's like a site that just takes a little bit longer to paint. It's doing some weird, oh, I actually know. The test pilot website is, I think takes a little bit longer because there's this like radial gradient behind the scenes. So yeah, it takes like that extra little to paint, like there's this little delay. So if whenever you hover your mouse over, we can like take that amount of time between hover and click and use that to like prepare. That's what we want to do, and that's what warming up tabs is all about. And I wrote the patch. I landed the patch yesterday, but it bounced because of a test started to fail very frequently. So I want to investigate that today. I'd like to get this re-landed if possible today. I really want to get this optimization in. And then if we fix that, then I also worked with another engineer on changing how we scroll tabs to use CSS smooth scrolls. So the scrolling up here is all done, using the CSS smooth scroll property, which is a lot better than what we were doing before, which caused layout flushes every time we scrolled. Now we don't flush layout, which is a lot better. It's a lot more probable that it will be a smooth scroll whenever it happens. But whenever we hold down the scroll button, we have this like pulsing blah, 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 that we don't want. We want it to just like constantly be going, like a conveyor belt, as opposed to like an inchworm. So that's what the bug was actually filed. It says it scrolls as the inchworm, so we don't want that. So I'll be working on that if we get through this test failure. So let's get started. So I'm gonna close all these other tabs and get them out of the way. I actually have a build going on in the background. Hopefully that'll be done soon. I've got all these. I'm using SC cache, so hopefully I'm like getting some nice cache hits. Oh, a couple cache misses, but like hopefully this will be done soon. Building has gotten a lot slower because the Rust compiler, bless its heart for compiling like Rust, because that's a lot. It's a way better language than C and C++. Also, in terms of like safety, for concurrency and like memory safety and stuff. But man, does it take longer to build. The compilation performance is pretty poor. And I know that the Rust team, they're doing great work, and they're working hard to improve compilation time and like optimize compilation speed. But yeah, now that we're dropping more and more Rust components into the browser, building has gotten a lot slower. This used to take me like a couple of minutes. Now I'm like it would have taken me 4 or 5 minutes to do it maybe a couple months ago. Now I'm at like 26 minutes. It's pretty rough. So while we're waiting for that to build, let's take a look at the test failure itself. Let's pull that up. Also, nice new throbby animation. I'm not sure if you just saw that, but there's this like little whoop, 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 60 FPS little bouncy ping pong ball as the loading throbber that landed I think yesterday, in yesterday's nightly. That's pretty fun. 60 FPS too. Okay, so the perma failure. Let's take a look. The BC7s on Linux. This is an example of us, like this is a later landing, a later commit after I'd landed my stuff. But apparently, if one of the BC7s, yeah, 343515, is that what it is? Yeah, okay. So there's this test, docshell test navigation browser bug 343515, and I'm failing. Tab 0 should be inactive apparently. So let's take a look at what this test does. That's the very first step of my books. Whenever you're dealing with an intermittent test failure, and you've never seen the test before, the very first step before you start like trying to solve it is to, or like making guesses and stabbing in the dark. You want to understand what the test is doing. And holy smokes, Sublime, why are you so slow right now? It's probably because I'm building so much, and I'm building, and I've got, oh wow, the browsers, oh, OBS is like, yeah, that was a slow snapshot. I've got Clang doing its thing, Rust compiler, and OBS are just killing my processor. So, not amazing, but we'll get there, folks. We're gonna load this file. It's not usually this bad. Okay, so I can immediately tell that this is an older test because it's using the old mechanism function test and like callbacks and stuff. When modern tests will use async and await. So test for bug 343515. We need an API for tab browsers to tell doc shells that they're visible or hidden. So let me quickly open this bug as well to understand what this test was written for. Gotta understand it. Gotta know what we're doing. Due diligence. Right now, tab browser doesn't really communicate to Gecko which tab is active and which isn't. I'm guessing this is because doc shell is active. Is like that's what we're talking about here. Doc shell is active, and doc shell, yeah, is active, true, and false. Okay, because that's how we say whether or not to paint. And like when we warm up a tab, essentially we're flipping that. We're saying, okay, now paint, and we set it to true. So how does this work? Well, this is the entry point, is this magic function called test, which the harness calls. And it says this is going to be an asynchronous test. There's a lot of callbacks going on here, so we're going to wait for an explicit call of finish before we consider the test finished. And then we're going to run step 1. So step 1 gets the handle on the initial tab, get the browser for it, and it says tab 0 should be active at test start. We should actually pull up a log to see where we get to in the test as well. So let's do that next. Test, unexpected, fail. Okay. Tab 0 should be active at test start. We pass that. Then we get the browser for it. And, oh yeah, sorry, we've already done all that. Then we open a new tab. And then whenever it's loaded, we go step 2. And then tab 0 should still be active. Tab 1 should not be active. That's right. And then we switch to tab 1. Tab 0 should be inactive. Tab 1 should be active. And then we load step 3. So we pass these, and so we're going to fail really soon now. We got 2 more checks, then we fail. So we open up our next tab, and we enter step 3. Got expected tab 2 URL in step 3, yeah. Tab 0 should be inactive. Tab 1 should be active. Interesting. And tab 0 is not inactive. Somehow tab 0 became active. That is a problem. Why would that be? Huh. Okay. So something is reactivating tab 0. Let's see here. We start with tab 0. We switch to tab 1. Whenever it's done, then tab 0 is inactive. And then we say we add another tab. And does adding a tab somehow cause us to activate tab 0? That'd be crazy. Well, let's see if we can reproduce this error. So I know that I've got this like forever build going on my local machine. Like, look at that. We're at minute 33. Luckily, I did another build. This failure reproduces on Linux, and I've got a beast mode, which is my Linux machine. And I think it should probably be done by now. Its build of the same patch. Yep, it's done. Although I get this IO operation on closed file. That always freaks me out when I see that. I've got free space, right? Yeah, what's the dealio? Anyway, so the build is done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the test. Now, this was on opt build. I didn't have to do a debug. That's good. So I'm going to do mock or display 1, mock moki test, and then the failing test is this one right here. And let's see what happens when we just run it once. There's like this white line behind my head apparently. I don't know if that's annoying you people. I'm gonna try and smooth this out. Did that work? I think that's making it worse. Ah, that's a lot worse. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Come on. Smooth. Smooth. Folks, I'm sorry. So what happened? It passed. So I'm going to run the test now on repeat. Run until failure. We're going to see what happens. See if I can get it to fail at least once. Actually, another thing that we could do is see where the mouse is, because if the mouse is, if there's a cursor hovering over, if there's a cursor here, then yeah, you know what? I think this might be the issue. Take a look. I just realized. Take a look at the screenshot. So we gather a screenshot whenever. So I think we've sorted it. I think I figured it out. Everybody, I think I figured it out. Take a look at the screenshots here. This is a screenshot. Whenever we get a test failure like this, we take a screenshot, and this is the screenshot that of the failure at the failing time. And notice this is the first tab that this is the original tab, tab 0, tab 1, tab 2. We haven't switched to this tab yet. And one thing I want to point out is, here, I can use something called Color Picker, right? I think there's this tool called Color Picker. Where is it? 504F4B. Yeah, the backgrounds are different, and you know why the backgrounds are different? Because the mouse is hovering this tab. So we're at the the test seems to be running, and the mouse is just kind of like hanging out in the top left corner, and so this tab is hovered, and that's why. that's why the that's crazy. So yeah, the that's why we're failing, is that because the mouse is right there. And so what I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of, there might be other ways that this introduces failures, because we do other stuff when we hover tabs, like let's see, tab browser. I got so many things open. I'm sorry for the people who are annoyed by that, but tab browser, we've got this like warm up tab step. I actually should probably put that finding in this bug. This is hilarious. Apparently, here's apparently during our automated tests, the mouse cursor hangs out in the top left corner of the screen, and for this test at least, it appears that it hovers over the initial tab, which causes it to warm up, and that breaks this test's assumptions. Here's a screenshot of the test failure on Linux. Notice that the initial tab has the hover, the background hovered color applied to it. Actually, let me attach that. I'll save this file. Save image. And then up. Now, do we have the same thing for OS X? I'm guessing we might. Let's see here. Windows, do we have a similar failure? So that was a fun discovery. I wasn't expecting to find that one so quickly, but yeah, that's what's up. Is on Linux anyways. It doesn't appear to be the case on the other in the other platforms. Um, on Linux. Now what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about it? Well, one thing we might do is move the mouse way off screen, because I feel like this is going to be this is not just a bug for warming up the tabs. This could, as we do more things when we hover tabs, this could affect. Oh boy, that is a slow computer. Come on now. Well, I'll open it up on beast mode and show you. Base content tests, or tab browser, XML, warm up. Right here, we do a speculative connection as well to the network when we hover the mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to propose, well, first of all, let me write this down in my notes. Actually, this is all good to have in here. In my notes. Sorry, I just like to get my notes all sorted. So what am I going to do about this? What I think I'm going to do is alter the test harness to move the mouse cursor to the bottom right of the screen so that it's out of the way and not hovering anything. But I should probably talk to some test harness people first. So who would be a good person? Browser Monkey Test.js? Browser test? Maybe that's what it's called. Yeah, Monkey Test, browser test. Who's last touched this? Shane. Mossip. I might want to talk to Mossip. Alright, I'm going to talk to Mossip. Hi. I have a your just gonna ask his permission to talk to him. Outstanding. Okay. Hey, so I'm working on which allows us to warm up tabs for painting when they're hovered in the tab strip to improve perceived tab switch time. And the patches are all approved. They landed last night, but then bounced because of a mostly perma failure on Linux. It turns out that our test machines, our Linux test machines, have the mouse floating in the upper left corner of the screen, which happens to hover over the initial tab. So, and the test failure is because that initial tab is being activated when we don't expect it to. Yeah, this one is kind of, I'm thinking of altering Moki Moki test browser test to get the mouse out of the way of the browser, like off screen or something. Do you see any problems with me altering browser test to move the mouse to like the bottom right corner? Do you, or can you think of a better solution? Oh shoot. Yeah, that's bad. That'd be bad. So Ryan VM noticed that there are hot corners. Do the hot corners. Don't want to do the hot. Move the mouse or move the window is all I can think of. Fails with either seems fine. Getting the mouse out of the way sounds like a win. Where I guess I want to know where it makes sense. I guess I want advice on where to put the mouse, because it sounds like top left isn't amazing, because top left breaks me for this test. Bottom right sounds like it's bad for Windows due to hot corners. Do we know if there's a way to like not have the mouse bottom center? Can, I'm fine with either of those. Is Can anybody think of an issue with either? Middle of edge that has taskbar is less likely to activate anything untoward. Alright. I think that's a fine suspicion. Okay, great, thanks. Thanks for the advice, all. I think there's an XPCOM API I can do this with. I seem to recall doing this before for something unrelated. Oh, give it a shot anyhow. Pat, are you cool with reviewing such a patch to browser test? Excellent. Y'all are great. Thanks so much. And that is the best. My coworkers are amazing. I love our development community. All right, so let's write this. Let's write a patch for browser test that moves the cursor into the center bottom of the screen. As I said, I'm pretty sure that there's an XBCOM API that allows me to set the position of the cursor. I'm just trying to remember what it is. Native mouse synth. It's used by the new tab test. Native mouse synth. Aha. That sounds. Hang on. Native mouse synth. Synth. Mouse. Native. It's used by the new tab tests in there. Browser-based content. Native. It's a bit arcane. You need magic integers that are different per platform. Lovely. Native mouse. Synthesize native mouse event. That's what I think I want. DOM send native mouse event. DOM window utils. Send native mouse event. Send native mouse move. Send native mouse scroll. Mouse. Mouse. Synthesize a mouse event. Synthesize a mouse event. Mouse down. Is it native? Synthesize a pointer event. Send mouse event to window. Send native mouse event. Hmm. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Send native mouse move. Test. Send native mouse move. Util send native mouse event. Maybe that's it. Let's move. Message flags, then there's an element at the end. Is the element necessary? One, two, three, four, and then window document element. I need to move it. Oh, I can send null. So let's try this. I'm going to try this here in my current browser. Let utils equal window.query interface, CSI interface requester, get interface, CSI DOM window utils. So got some utils from this browser window, and I'm going to say utils. I got my mouse right here. I'm going to put in the top left. Utils send native mouse event 100. No, I'm going to say 500, 500. NS. I say null, 0, null. See what happens. Hey, and my mouse moved right here. Did you see that? I'm going to put it back up in this corner. See, my mouse is up here by the apple. I'm going to hit enter. Hey, and now my mouse is right here. So that works. I don't even know, like, I got to look up the documentation. DOM window utils. Let's look up the documentation. Send native mouse event. Apparently it can be like null, 0, null, and that's okay. There's no need to apply a native message. So send native mouse event, like, ns mouse moved. What is ns mouse moved? 5. That's on Mac. On Mac window. Well, I guess let's take a look at the implementation. Dispatch, synthesize native mouse event, native message, and then an element. And I can send this mouse anywhere, right? Like, it doesn't have to be within the window. I could send it to outside the window, right? Hang on. Let's say 1500 Y. So we're up here. Where am I? Yeah, I'm way down here. Great. Okay. At least it seems to work on OS X. Does it work on Linux? Is the next question. How can we find that out? Well, let's open up VNC. See if I can run and connect to beast mode. Oh, come on. What? Did I give it a different password? What? Well, how do I change VNC server? Change password. So let me just move this off screen for a sec. Okay. So now I should be able to connect. Good. Okay, now I'm going to say mock run on display 1. And now I'm going to put my cursor here. I'm going to open up the console. Can I copy and paste? Say utils equals that. Can I paste? Come on. Yeah. Utils. So I've got utils, and then I'll say that. So I'm going to put my mouse here. Whoopsie daisy. Is it working? I can't even tell. It's like I can see it painting here, and then the mouse is back up here again. I'm gonna say yes, it's probably working. But VNC might be like caching the previous position of the mouse. So I'm gonna say yes, it's working. Cause like if I move the mouse, oh, what's happening? Here, I'm gonna keep my mouse floating up here, and then I'm gonna hit enter. It's weird how focus shifts automatically. I can't hit enter. Because the focus is shifting. Is that a VNC thing? Preferences, focus, input, turn off chat. Expert, VNC. Is there like VNC focus auto? VNC autofocus Windows. Mouse. Mouse hover makes window active. That's for Windows. VNC server, maybe the term I'm looking for, auto raise window focus. turn that off. Here's how we enable it. How do I disable it? That's on Windows. Don't care. Oh, jeez. Can I like float my mouse here and then change focus with the keyboard? Uh, this is silly. Well, let's just figure out if we can position the mouse. So I've got screen inner. Screen height is 768. Like, how do I get like inner height? Inner and outer windows. No, that's not what I want. Screen inner outer height. Screen dimensions. How do I get the screen dimensions? JavaScript screen dimensions. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Like screen height 1200. Screen avail height 117. Right, so actually screen height sounds right. Screen width 1920. That sounds right. That sounds right actually. So like if I do send native mouse event, I'm going to say X will be screen width divided by 2, and then screen dot height. That should put the mouse right in the middle at the bottom. Yeah, it's down here. You didn't see it, but it went there. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. So let's write a test, or let's modify the test to do that. Stop. Stop. So browser, what is it? Testing, Moki test, browser test. Is there anything in here that does like mouse, utils, DOM window utils, win utils, there you go, next test. Is there anything we need to know about, like, does it occur immediately? Will be fired asynchronously, and upon completion the observer provided will be notified with a mouse event topic. Okay, so maybe I should do that to avoid like screwing things up. Um, Clear. This looks like as good a place as any. Move the mouse out of the way. In order, certain behaviors might be triggered by the mouse hovering in a particular place. In order to to avoid that, or currently we figure the safest place to put the cursor to avoid this and things like Windows 8 hot corners is in the bottom center of the screen. So WinUtils, wait a second. Yeah. WinUtils dot, it's exactly what I wrote. Send native mouse event. Mouse event, and then, oh geez, screen.width, window.screen.width divided by 2. I'm gonna floor that, math.floor, window.screen.height. Null, 0, null. And that null should actually be an observer. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So observer, and then observer. So maybe can I do like await? Yield. I have to yield. Yield new promise. Resolve. Observer. Let observer equal, and then NSI observer takes subject topic data, subject topic data, if will be notified with a mouse event topic. If topic equals mouse event resolve. Okay, that might do it. So let's see what happens when we run the test with that. And we'll have it repeat a couple times. Repeat equals 5. I'm actually not seeing the mouse move anywhere. So I might need to rebuild that directory. So let's try that again. And now my mouse went down to the middle there. Yeah, it's good. Now, I noticed that that only happened after the first run, so I might actually need to do this sooner. But it sounds like we've got the right thing going on. Test init. Is that tester start? Graphics, we're going to wait for Windows state. was raised before each test. Next test. Exec test. Tasks, promise, new promise, less start time. Load the subscript. And run next test. You know what? Maybe this is fine. So let's... Actually, I'm going to take this opportunity. Let's take a look at the diff here. Okay. Bug. Move the mouse to the bottom center of the screen between test runs. There might be a better way. I should probably mention that like I'm doing that between, so it doesn't, the first test will have the mouse be wherever. And while I'm here, actually, update our tip. I'm gonna change this message. Data review. Now let's take a look at browser test. Start. Tab destroy observer init. Wait for graphics test window to be gone. And then this next test bind. So it will call next test. Next test. If current test. Oh, maybe what I'll do is I'll put that at the start. So instead of doing it below, yield. I'll put it up here. Ensure DOM or processed. WinUtils. And then move the definition of WinUtils. Alright, let's run this again now. should have the mouse move out of the way the first time. So I've got the mouse in the middle here. Look at that X. Before the test run begins, the mouse doesn't move, and then it does. That's weird. Hmm. Did I build correctly? I feel like I put it in the right place. Yield. Or maybe, oh, maybe I have to put this outside. Here. Because current test won't exist. Alright, hold on, let's try it again. My mouse right there. No, it didn't do it. Wrong place. Am I like dump? Hello? Is this stuff getting built? Is it running? Yeah, apparently. Oh, and then okay, so that one worked. That one worked. Got my mouse here. 4 test runs. Okay, great. So so now I need to know. Hello. Hello. Can I just put this inside here, or do I need to? Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. Pretty sure this won't work. And that was the problem. And then I didn't build. Yeah, okay. Okay, I understand. So we're gonna, whoopsie daisy. We're gonna move all of this stuff to here. And then the mouse should move. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. Okay. I feel pretty good about this. Amend. Parse it. Sorry, I missed some chat going on in the Twitch chat. Maybe place the mouse in the center of the display. I'd thought about putting the mouse in the center, but the problem is that there might be some like tests that we do that load web pages that have things in the like the browser window is more or less in the center, and if like the mouse is in the middle, then it might hover something that causes something to occur. And so like we want to reduce the probability that that like we want to reduce the probability that that occurs. So we want to like avoid intersecting the window. Oh, okay. Okay, Parsit says he got this answer by himself. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push these patches up for review. Push them up for review.
You all?
Oh, yeah.
That's right!
All right, pushed up for review. And about the problem with cursor focus, can you try to embed the dev console? I'm not sure what you mean. Inside the browser window. Could I try to embed the dev console inside the browser window? I'm not sure what you mean when you say embed the dev console. Like, what? Unauthorized? 401. Unauthorized. Is it? What? I might need to reopen this. I don't see why it'd be unauthorized. You can pin at the bottom of the browser windows. This is true. You can pin the dev tools at the bottom of the browser window. But I'm not sure what to do with that information. Can you try to embed the dev console inside the browser window? I'm not sure that helps though. Help me understand. This can help with the focus problem. I need more. More. Tell me more. Tell me more, Parset07. I'm fascinated. Tell me your idea. I better not get a 401 unauthorized. That's going to be a pain in the butt. How come I'm not authorized? Why would I not be authorized? You were frustrated by the fact that you can't press the enter key when you move. Oh, in VNC. Oh, in VNC. Gotcha. I thought you meant in like the test, in writing the test. I'm like, what? We're gonna have browser test embed the dev console? Like, that's what I thought you were saying. I'm sorry. Okay, I understand what you're saying. I don't actually think. I'll write this in the Twitch chat as well. I understand. I understand. It's all good. I don't actually think, however, we can embed the browser console in the browser window. Certainly, we can embed the like DevTools console for manipulating the web page, but the privileged browser console thingy I was using, I don't think I can dock it on the browser window like that. But good idea. That was a good idea. All right. So finally this went up for review. So I'm going to publish this. Let me just take a look at the patch here. What we said. Move the mouse out of the way. Certain behaviors might be triggered by the mouse hovering in a particular place. Currently, figure the safest place to put the cursor to avoid this, and things like Windows 8 hot corners is in the bottom center of the screen. Resolve Windows Observer 4 window defined by 2 Windows screen height null 0 null. That should do the trick. So not between test runs. Well, I guess it is between test runs. So publish. And then I'm going to push this to try to see if automation likes it. And then I actually think I'm going to call this episode done. That was pretty exciting. We actually got to the bottom of something. What is going on with Bugzilla? Internal error. What are you talking about? Bugzilla, what's your dealio? Oh. Apparently we're under attack. That's what's happening. So Bugzilla is currently being like DDoS'd or something. Great. And our people are on it, trying to defend ourselves. Lovely. Lovely. Someone is apparently using a lot of Python to talk to Bugzilla. This is the problem of even if I make confidential anything, it would silly for me. That's one of the problems with like having an open API and being an open source organization like this is people abuse us, which is too bad. Why can't people be nice? All right, well, I might call the episode here then. Thanks so much for watching The Joy of Coding. Hopefully this will be up for review shortly. If you want to follow along in the bug, it's bug 1385453. There's a link to that in the agenda, which I talked about. Hey, what'd you think of this episode? Why don't you let me know? There's a link in the agenda to rate this episode right here. I also dropped it in the Twitch chat earlier. It's in the video descriptions. It's in the additional links section on Mozilla. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I read every piece of feedback that comes in. Help me make this better. Also, don't forget to send pull requests to the episode guide. If you're not sure how to send pull requests, this might help. Pull requests. How to send pull requests. Yeah, there we go. So I've added some documentation there. You can read about pull requests. So if you're looking at the agenda, reload, and it should have a link now to pull requests. And let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching episode 110 of The Joy of Coding. I hope that was enjoyable. Again, I will not be here next week. I am on vacation, but the week after I'll be back. We're going to kick some more butt. We're only a couple weeks away from 57 uplifting to beta. 57 is where a lot of really excellent Firefox stuff has landed. You know, if you've been looking at the browser I've got right now, it's all square tabs and super smooth. We've got these like little bouncy ping pong ball 60 FPS animations. Look at that stop reload button. It's so cool. That's happening all on Firefox 57, which is currently nightly. If you're interested in testing out nightly, and you should be, I use it as my daily browser, and it's very smooth. Go to nightly.mozilla.org, and I'll put a link to that in the agenda as well. Nightly. Try it out. So, boom. And I'm actually going to put that there. Hit save, synchronize, bam. So now reload the agenda, give Nightly a spin. I hope you enjoy it if you do. And it's got a really cool new icon. For the last couple of days, we've been having fun with the icon. It was like Doge Fox. What did it look like? People were talking about it. Zilla. It's like, it looked like, come on. Yeah, it looked like this. Wow. Such logo. Very detailed. So update. Much shoulder. Away. Amaze. Mobile. A wappa papa pow. So that's what happened. Okay. Thanks again for watching episode 110 of The Joy of Coding. That's true. DDoSers gonna DDoS, says RW Grimm. For reals. That's the internet. That's why we can't have nice things. Take care. I'll see you the week after next. Stay safe out there. Don't DDoS stuff. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.